What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On this AG. Hope you guys are doing great or doing well. And I'm here back with another video. And today I'm reacting to Shigaraki versus Mahito. That is My Hero Academia versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, with this, I know both characters. The only difference is that I have finished Jujutsu Kaisen, the first 2 seasons, which we are currently at. But with My Hero Academia, I fell off at this season 5. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because I was busy at that time doing a lot of things, and the pressure of it all, of watching different stuff, it got lost in the shuffle, and you know how it is. Once you drop off of a certain medium, movie, TV show, especially TV shows, since they are longer. Once you drop off a couple of episodes or a season, it's really difficult to get back into it. Why? Because there's a lot of stuff that is coming out that you are really interested in watching, and as such, you put that at the back of the line, and as is at the back of the line, more stuff comes which you are more eager to watch, and it just, yeah. Hopefully, I can pick it back up because I know My Hero Academia is a really dope, anime. I don't know who's going to win. I mean, they both have similar powers. Shigaraki can decay you when he touches you. Mahito can also destroy your soul when he also touches you. So both are lethal. They are similar yet different at the same time. Anyways, let's jump into this. Wait, I didn't put my headset on. I don't know why I make these mistakes. So let's get started. 3, 2, 1, action. Okay.
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
Like, who's really going to win? Because I know of all Mahito's powers from the anime up to season 2. And we all know what's happened to him in season 2. These spoilers, no more.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy who loved superheroes.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet, shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flight or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family. Well, except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the streets alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one.
The greatest supervillain in history.
He took Tenko under his wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains in destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it says on the tin. Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy.
Reactivate evolution.
If not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but come on. They just look so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands from his family that he killed, attached to his face, and explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
I don't remember this. I mean, it's been
While his
years.
use of Decay started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something he's decaying also decays.
Spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
If decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with the greatest supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission: He must kill his master's rival, the #1
All
hero,
Might.
All Might.
Only to fall flat on his face.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well...
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie in real life, in front of normies.
But they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors of their master's blood feud, would push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All For One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front.
I mean, like I said, I fell off at season 5, so I mean, I'm just lost in some of these things.
Who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached 24 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before to be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT, almost as much as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes' Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch! Now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a blast so big it showed up against the curvature of the
Earth. I need to get back into my Hero Academia. This is getting me hyped.
Pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became? Oh shit, more hands!
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh.
Bro, this is definitely past season 5.
Of it in an instant. Whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All For One, so what better way than the old man's quirk?
All For One's quirk, All For One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All For One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki's body and can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
And with those vestiges came quirks like super fast healing, air blast, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others, and the ability to track foes.
He can even combine multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All For One's vestige, that means All For One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tenko's grandmother.
Oh, damn! Mess with All Might. That is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All For One to take full control.
But All For One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone. His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying all
I can't believe they just spoiled it all for me.
Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the hardest
because I don't know where this is at the anime
not the broken, angry,
in the manga.
Boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Bro, I just got spoiled massively. Still, I will want to watch it.
With Robinhood
I really want to watch it.
VIP treatment
Because, come on.
IRA match on retirement
This is going to be.
The privileges of the
I don't know.
no
I didn't expect Death Battle to be the one that is going to pull me back into watching My Hero Academia. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I'm watching. Like a lot of anime out there, current ones that are just coming out. Season 2 of
the new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold.
God damn it, it's at the back of my mind. Obviously, there are a couple of animes coming out. If you're an anime fan, you know there are season 2 of Dan coming. The one who turns into a monster, a kaiju number 8. So there's a lot, you know. Plus other TV shows that I'm watching as well. Marvel movies, different movies, DC movies are coming.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming over time a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well,
man, season 2 finale was really satisfying. Mahito really got what it effing deserved.
Tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest,
and it's just a few months old. True.
He's no mere mortal though, but a cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak, or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger, or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. And it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex.
Go, Joe.
You need a Jujutsu sorcerer to come in and Kaisen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity. Almost exclusively in Japan,
because that's where the writers made it to be.
Curses are basically dumb animals, but Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him
God.
kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter? Really get your steps in.
He killed so many of our favorite characters.
Like a cartoon
Oh,
character
man.
before slitting your throat.
An appropriate analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shapeshift his body into literally anything he wants. Like Play-Doh, he can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings
It was
like
really a
bird or
freaking
fins like
problem.
fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking your soul,
Oh
those
my
physical
God.
wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
Oh, that
Oh
was one
my
touch.
God.
God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better, especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you suffer.
Even more twisted is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity, essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that
Man, I can't wait for
repels at an
Jujutsu
opponent.
Kaisen season 3.
Yeah.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. It's no surprise then that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection, the ultimate expression of Mahito's
All my guy
absolute
wanted
control
was
over his
that's
victim's
a
body
vacation.
and soul. The only time it ever failed
And he
was
never
against
got
the
it.
student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in
Oh,
the
he really
inalienable
effed him
rights
up.
of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curses, Sukuna.
Which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his big-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally
Oh no, Death Battle, you're giving me PTSD. Season 2 was absolutely insane. People were like, bro, they hates his characters. And obviously, you can see that all our main characters were just wiped out. Especially the ones we love.
Kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give, especially when, in the throes of struggle against Yuji, he evolved, unlocking a vastly more powerful form, the instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton and arm blades, this was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into, a true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve,
Season 2 was amazing.
won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now.
Yeah, this scene was so freaking satisfying.
Ran away like a bitch. And what do you know? Life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
He suddenly felt fear.
Just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
Wonder who's gonna win.
Hey, do you see that join button?
Wait.
Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to being a Death Battle champion. As a champion, you get all sorts of exclusive Death Battle content, like extra videos, live chats, and sending us your own matchup ideas. And the support helps us make even more Death Battle. So thank you for being a champion.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna win. Like, my bet is on Shigaraki, simply because the things they mentioned he could do, they're all for one power that he was almost gaining and all that. But then I look at Mahito and I look at, oh, damn. I may have to censor some of these shots because Yeah, definitely not YouTube friendly.
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
It will make sense. Shigaraki will want to recruit
social
him.
rejects. How about I bring them your head instead? Fine by me. Let's call this your audition. Sickum.
Ooh. Oh. Damn. Like I said, your powers are different yet similar at the same time. But yeah, he's not easily killed.
Did you actually just say that? God, how lame.
Oh, what the? He tried to do that to Yuji. He was just yeah. He's even true. Oh, bro.
Audition over. Did I get the part? Decay.
Oh, Black Flash.
What a rush!
Oh, his final form. Okay. And this one's Shigaraki's final form too. I don't know who's gonna win.
That all you got?
He's not used domain I said it. Domain expansion. Ooh.
I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy is mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Bro, ooh, all for one.
My masterpiece.
Yeah, was living inside because of.
I felt your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way. Totally random. I hate them for a reason. You grow up.
Like I said,
What did I say?
I didn't know who was gonna win.
With their complex
Yeah.
power sets, this match was a
It's
puzzle
true.
to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito?
Yeah.
He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Search quirk, Shigaraki would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy
Yeah.
entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
He was faster too, considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idol transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
True.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial
The power
question.
set.
Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idol transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks all for one collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idol transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idol transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of
they did mention that.
Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers that couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really got a hand into Shigaraki.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
Okay.
Next time
wait, next time on. Who? Huh.
Subscribe.
Wait, Master Chief versus Doomslayer. Okay. I can't wait for that one. But yeah, I really didn't know who was going to win, especially since I said I fell off on My Hero Academia. I think, as I said, season 5, right? I don't know whether season 5 or season 6, but I'm pretty sure season 5 I watched. I reached a certain point. I finished it. But yeah, the thing is, I didn't know who was going to win because their powers, like I said, was similar yet different at the same time. Both touched the soul, both decay, both transform. It's just a different variety of it, because it's in a different medium, different anime, different writers. But yeah, each also have different powers. Aside from that, Shigaraki, I didn't know this guy becomes so insanely powerful, especially where we left off. I left off from the anime. I pretty much got spoiled on the ending of the guy. His ending, and what happens to him is, with Mahito, of course, I know that it happened in season 2 and I completed the anime and I can't wait for season 3. But yeah, this was really interesting. I always like death battles that explore characters with similar powers and yet also have differences as well. And also characters that are so wildly apart that you can never think, like, how is this going to work? Like, who is really going to win? It just depends on the writers, right? Because like Superman versus Goku, I've seen it. I think I watched it years and years ago. There's 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. I don't know which one I watched first. I know Superman won in one of them or both of them. I don't know. So I may check that one out or those 2 videos out because it's been years. And of course, I want to see how the battle takes place. I don't remember the fight at all. I just remember the winner of one of them, which is Superman. But anyways, I enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. If you want me to react to any death battle or any video at all, just leave your link in the comments below and I'll check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, this reaction, also leave a like, comment, and share. That's all the video and the channel out. And subscribe and turn on that notification bell not to miss any new video. Bro, I almost made a mistake. Yeah, that's going to be for the video. As always, this age here. I will see you guys in the next video.